Hi everyone, this is Master Paul. Just want to share a few stories and reminders on how we can be happier, give from the heart and support each other. Day 1, History, Happiness, Success. Why did I develop this program? I have a dream that children should enjoy going to school, build lasting friendships and develop the confidence to be successful in life. My life was so happy. I was regional instructor of Taekwondo in charge of 9 centres with over 300 members. Well-respected sales representative of a large company, married, 2 children and even a puppy dog. Around January 2006, my life hit rock bottom. Kicked out of Taekwondo and given a letter saying, "You are nothing to me." Missed out on getting a well-deserved promotion at work and my mum passed away. All I had left was 1 centre, 30 members. I was very unhappy and very alone. So I went in search of happiness. And on my journey, I found that you don't need to do incredible things to have an incredible life. Be grateful for the little things in life, like the sun on your face, the wind on your back, or a smile from a friend next to you. You don't need all this stuff. People are more important. If you say you can or you say you can't, you are right. And give someone one of your smiles. It might be the only sunshine they see all day. It can change the world, maybe not the whole world, but their world. So I opened my mind to look for happiness and found my happiness was in giving. To give or share, you need confidence, and you get confidence from trying new things or doing things over and over. So I had to go at everything and learn from every experience. Remember, failure is only failure if you failed to learn. Once you started getting better at all these new adventures in your life, your confidence grows and you start to believe in yourself. Now, if you take that belief, tap potential, take action, you get a great result. Now you have much stronger belief, so you tap more potential, take greater action, get incredible results. You have now been given the gift of confidence, a gift for life. The only thing to do now is to share it. Now you can't be great at everything, so enhance your strength, surround yourself with other people that can do what you can't do, build strong relationships that develop into trust. In the end, I've become incredibly happy. Looking back over the past 12 years, remember I was very unhappy, very alone, but I learned a valuable lesson that changed my outlook on life. Life is not happening to us, it's happening for us. Look at how I've developed over those years. Life has always had its ups and downs, but it is the meaning that you give it. You may not be able to change the events, but you can decide how to look at them because who knows what's good and what's bad. We shared a story of 2 farmers. One farmer asked his neighbour, "How are things going?" He said, "My horse ran away the other day." The farmer said, "That's bad." He said, "No, not really. He came back with another horse. Now I have 2. The farmer said, "That's good." He said, "No, not really. My son tried to ride him, fell off and broke his leg." The farmer said, "Oh, that's bad." He said, "No, not really. The army wanted to take my son away, but because he had a broken leg, they didn't take him off to war." The farmer said, "That's good." He said, "No, not really. I have to do all the work." The farmer said, "That's bad." He said, "No, not really. I went to see the doctor, and because I'm doing all the work, my health has never looked better." This story goes on forever and ever and ever. Remember that challenges we face in life help us grow and that we develop as a result of hard things that happen to us. We call this a classic hero's journey. Pain can give us focus. Defeat can create empathy. The idea what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. These are all contained in the idea that we can get good out of the seemingly bad. So smile every day. It's not that bad. Wow, that was day 1. Day 2, Giving and Building Friendships. We talked about army training. In the army there are 2 courses. First course is an obstacle course. They're the people there that finish fast, average and slow. Then you have the confidence course. Obstacles on this course can't be achieved on your own and it is not timed. Now what they found out is that when the fast and the slow needed help, they didn't get it until they helped another person. After 2 weeks they started cheering for each other. Even though they all got into trouble, they still cheered. Not long after that, they'd give up their life for another person because that's what they'd do for them. Now, not that I want you to die for each other to show how great you care. I want you to give a little every day. These small acts of kindness build up strong connections because it releases oxytocin. Oxytocin is called the like molecule and is the chemical foundation for trusting each other. Activated by positive social interactions, it makes us care about others in a real way, and it motivates us to work together for a common purpose. You may ask, how can I raise my levels of oxytocin and increase concern and compassion towards other people? Here are 5 simple ideas. Number 1, listen with your eyes. Instead of being glued to an electronic device, give the person with you your complete attention. Watch their face and listen to what he or she is telling you. It may not be the most important thing to you, but it's important enough for them to share with you. Number 2, give a gift. Our first human oxytocin study shows that receiving gifts raised oxytocin. So why not make this a regular practice? The key is not to expect a gift in return, just surprise someone for no reason. Number 3, pat a dog. This doesn't always work unless the dog belongs to you, but if you identify yourself as a dog person, any old dog will raise your oxytocin. The dog won't complain either. And once your oxytocin is up, you connect better with your friends around you. Number 4, use the L word. Tell those around you that you like them. You've got to put it out there to get it back with your friends. And number 5, 8 hugs a day. We've shown that touch not only raises oxytocin, but it reduces stresses related to your heart and can improve the immune system too. Try telling people that you hug rather than shake hands, and see what happens when you give others the gift of oxytocin. If you can do all 5, you'll become an oxytocin master. Now, you have some ideas on how to increase your concern and compassion for your friends at school. You might ask, how long does it take before they like me? Good question. I shared a story about meeting a girl for a cup of coffee, falling madly in love, and getting married the next day. We all agree that it's too soon for me to love the person or even like them enough to want to spend the rest of life with them. Then I mentioned I was only joking, that actually we've been going out for 7 years. All of you agreed that getting married was okay because of the time we had spent together. So we concluded that it takes somewhere between 7 days and 7 years for someone to truly like you. We also agree that we can't actually locate the exact day when this incredible occurrence happens. What we realize is that after doing consistently nice things for someone, one day something inside of us just connects and you look at them and say, I like you. We also talked about goal setting. There's a special part of the brain called the reticular activating system, in short, RAS, RAS. RAS takes your subconscious thoughts and marries them to your conscious thoughts. They call it setting your intent. This basically means that if you focus hard on your goals, your RAS will reveal the people, information, opportunity that help you achieve them. Pretty awesome, right? Simple explanation. First, think of a goal, then think about the result, then finally create a movie of experience. Notice the sounds, visuals, and details of the mental movie, and then replay it often in your head. I shared a small story of bowling with my dad. If you recall, I asked my dad to join my bowling team. He asked me, what was the team's name? I said, the Dragons. He said, did you name your team after my old bowling team? I said, yes, and I wear your fully embroidered dragon shirt. He was so impressed, he said, yes. My dad used to bowl really well. We arrived about 45 minutes early, and so I asked my dad could he help me bowl a little bit better, as all I could manage is a score of 140, which in my eyes was pretty good. He said, yes, I can. Now I lined up to throw down my first ball, and Dad said, stop. Turned to the owners and said, clear the lane. This means I'll be bowling to no pins while we're practicing. I said, hey, Dad, how will I know if I get a strike? He said, you'll know it in your head. So every time I bowled, I had to imagine I got a strike and pump my arm downward, step back a few steps and yell out, yes! Looking back now, everyone around me must have thought I was an incredible bowler, because every time I finished bowling and yelled yes, they would look down the lane and see no pins. They were possibly saying, wow, that guy gets everything with every bowl. Little did they know that there were no pins to start with. It was time to bowl in the competition. As expected, I bowled the first 2 games with a score around 140. When I started my third game, my first frame was 8 and I picked up the spare. I was happy with that, but Dad came over to me and said, no, you need to bowl good now. You are not going to believe it. I bowled 6 strikes and 8 a miss and 4 strikes to finish the game. total score 254. I turned to my dad in shock, and all my dad said was, "Good visualization, son." I had just bowled the most incredible game of my life, and now I understand what he was doing. My goal was to get more strikes. My result, even though I had no pins in the lane when we practiced, he made me visualize a great result. Then he made me do it over and over and get a movie in my head. So when I was bowling for real, I was really bowling with no pins in the lane, but I saw myself getting a strike. Wow, dads are just awesome. Day 3, helping others. Giving up your time, which is more valuable than money. We worked on getting our 3rd stripe on our belt, and you became a personal trainer for a day. You were given an exercise to train your partner. You need to get the best out of your partner. Yes, you had the opportunity to yell at them if you felt it will help. Personally, I think you just like yelling. We also remind ourselves of how hard we trained to get our first 2 stripes with punching and blocking. Now came front and side kick. All of you are awesome as you demonstrated our teachers how strong we stand together. How strong we kick together. Day 4, we took caring to a new level. I shared a story about crab fishermen. On Foxtel, they have a show called Deadliest Catch. This is where crab fishermen go out on the barren sea to drop over their crab pods and hopefully get a great catch after 14 days' work. On a few boats, there are cameramen filming any action that happens. This particular day, the seas were really rough, so the captain ordered the crab pods to be brought back on the deck, and they were right out the rough waters. Well, the cameraman got bored, so he started looking around with his camera. He noticed another crab fishing boat in the distance with someone on the outside securing their crab pods. All of a sudden, he saw through his lens that he was washed into the ocean, and the cameraman shouted, "Man overboard!" The captain headed in the direction they felt he was, as they knew he only had about a minute to a minute and a half before hypothermia sets in and he dies. They found him, and he was looking up and yelling from the side of the boat, saying, save me, don't let me die." They grabbed him and brought him aboard, stripped off his clothes, wrapped him in warm blankets, and kept him in a warm room. About 2 minutes later, the captain came down and hugged him like a son. I guarantee you that crew went home fulfilled. I guarantee you that crew went home saying, "This was the greatest day of my life." Not because they caught a lot of crabs, but because they saved a life. At the end of the day, they all understand the risks. They all understand that it could have been them. As they all understand, they are all crab fishermen. I ask you to go home to your parents and say, "I had an incredible day," and they'll possibly ask you why. Your answer is, "Because I got to help someone." And "I can't wait to go back to school tomorrow." And they may ask why. Your answer is, "Because I get to help somebody else." Please look at your shirt as it says Lugarno Public School. You all understand the risks of coming to school, the pressures of exams, and the awkwardness in meeting new friends and trying a new sport. You all understand this because at the end of the day, you're all crab fishermen. You're all Lugarno Public School students. Day 5, Life Lessons. By now, we'd all achieved our 4th stripe, and so we looked back over what we had learnt. Here are some life lessons. 1. You need to be grateful for the little things in life. 2. You don't need stuff to be happy. Happiness can be found in a smile. 3. Life is not happening to us, it is happening for us. 4. You can become an oxytocin master from listening to each other, giving from the heart, patting a dog, liking a friend, hugging one another. And 5. The greatest gift in life is the gift of giving. Also shared a story at the airport when my flight was cancelled. If you remember, I came up the escalator to get onto my flight. When I got to the top, there were hundreds and hundreds of upset, frustrated and angry people, except for Master Paul. I looked at the departure board and yes, my flight was cancelled too. I called my wife Kay and asked politely if she could find me another flight while I looked around for some people to help me. About 30 minutes later, I found a Virgin employee. I said, "My flight has been cancelled. What do I do?" He said, "You can rebook over at the desk." When I turned around, the line must have been around 200 people long, and all I did was look back at him and smile and thanked him for his assistance. I walked to the end of the line and called Kay and said, "Please find me a flight to Darwin." About 5 minutes later, Kay said, "Head over to Jetstar." Well, that was better. Only 20 people in that line. While I was waiting for Kay to call me back, I noticed that everyone around me was not very happy. I decided to get some oxytocin, as I was an oxytocin master. I saw a lady nearby that was on crutches in a lot of pain. I looked around and saw a chair. I asked the person in front of me to watch my bag for a minute. I went and got the chair, but when I got close to the lady, she yelled at me, "What do you want?" Not getting angry, I said, "I just got you a chair." She solemnly said, "Thank you." I turned around to go back to my spot in line and noticed that everyone was smiling. One tall man stopped me and said, "That was nice." Soon after, I received a call from Kay saying, "You are going at 8:30 tonight. See you at the gym for a coffee and some fruit." I looked at the person behind me and said, "You can move forward one spot. My beautiful wife has found me another flight, and I'm flying to Darwin tonight." He was still smiling from my kind gesture. Day 6. Patience and support, our last chance to get our 5th stripe. What was good about the day was someone in all 3 groups had trouble with their left side pattern. But as expected, everyone pitched in and even did the pattern at 10% speed so that the person could catch on. Luckily, we started to speed up to maximum speed and all students achieved their 5th stripe and were excited about the tournament of week 7. After talking about not collecting stuff, all students decided the winner does not need to get a medal. I was so proud of everyone that you had learned that people are more important than stuff. Day 7, Tournament Day. After a quick warm-up, everyone was pumped to get 3 more stripes on their belt to make it to the final 8. It was exciting and everyone gave it their all. The teachers decided the winners by eliminating competitors one by one. It was such a hard task as everyone was so good. As you approach the end of the program, I'd like you to remember just a few more things. When you give from the heart. That you can become an oxytocin master in 5 easy steps. That someone will like you between 7 days and 7 years. And if you truly want something with all your heart and soul, you can and will find a way. That you are all crab fishermen. And when we help our friends around us with a little patience and support, we end up with a classroom full of winners. Day 8. You would have already completed breaking before you listened to this message from Master Paul. To all teachers that were involved and assisted me in making a difference to the special people in our lives, you rock. To all the students, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life for the past 8 weeks. And if you ever want to get some oxytocin and you see me in the street, you can always give me a hug. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with a poem from a martial arts legend. I know you think it's me, but when I first started, this man was my inspiration and his name was Bruce Lee. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you'd like to win, but you think you can't, it's almost certain you won't. If you think you will lose, you have lost, for out of this world we find success begins with a person's will. It's all a state of the mind. If you think you're outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster woman or man, but sooner or later, the person who wins is the person who thinks he can. I would like to wish you all the best for the new year, and remember, always take care of each other. Thanks, Master Paul.